tough is it to kind of get anything kind of rhythm going in a game like that?
Yeah, I mean that's a really, really hard game to get any rhythm going. You have you have certain guys playing so many minutes. Anybody that killed was playing so many minutes, and then you're trying to get some of the guys that don't kill, back in their rhythm and minutes, and just lose. I mean, I bet you there was some players on our team, that didn't play much 5-on-5 at all. Probably Ilya Mikheyev. He killed so much that he probably ended up not playing much 5-on-5. I'd have to look at the stat sheet again. But it's a hard game to get rhythm.
You guys are clearly trying to push back physically a little bit more this year. Is it still finding the line, obviously, when you have that many penalties?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think most of those penalties, I don't necessarily think were like pushback penalties. It was, but some, certainly the Crevier one is, and we'll do that all day, every day. We'll develop that mentality 100% first. And is there time to pick your spot? Yeah, but we'll deal with that later. Right now, we got to make sure we look after each other. And I thought Louis did a great job with that. Great job coming in there. So, it was a night where, one of the things we got to do is we got to make sure we can control. I think there's frustrations when there's that many penalties, but we got to make sure we can control. So where our stick position is, those types of things. We'll never be a team that goes down light. I thought it was a night where it paid to be light a little bit, but we'll never do that. We're not going to be a team that goes down light. We're going to be a team that plays through it. I thought there was probably some that, had we gone down light, maybe we attract attention to get the call, but that's not what this team's going to be about.
What do you see on the final goal?
Kind of screwed up a sort coming into our end to start. So, it's kind of a 3-on-3. It was a 3-on-3, and that's something that we've done a couple times. We got to get corrected. From there, it kind of became chaos, and we they send the puck down, and it ships back the other way, so it kind of becomes chaos at that point. And unfortunately for us, it went in. I mean, it was a tough pill to swallow for certain. It's disappointing because I thought we've made progress here, and it's hard when you're not getting W's to continue to stay with it. But it's just something that we're going to have to do. It's just the reality of it, and we got to make sure that we keep focusing on what it's going to take to win hockey games. And so as tough a pill as that to swallow, we got to swallow it and move on.
What did you think of the penalty kill? You certainly got to look at them a lot.
I thought actually the kill overall was pretty good, to be honest with you. I thought it was pretty good the other night. In Boston too, we gave up the 5-on-3 goal. We had a full 2-minute 5-on-3. You're putting yourself in a lot of tough spots. Full minute 5-on-3, 10 penalty kills tonight. The goal they have with Caulfield picking it out of the air. Did we make some mistakes? Yeah. Were they trying to? You get that many power plays, you start to find ways to kind of have success. But I thought overall. It was pretty good, and again, we're getting lots of work on it. And we're, Dickinson's certainly going into the year was one of our top killers. Slags is somebody we think is going to be a killer, and so some other guys are getting a lot of opportunities now, which is good for us in the long run.
How much of an asset is Mikheyev in that situation?
He was great. He's a really good killer. Again, he probably got the short end of the stick 5-on-5 because he killed so much, but he's a really, really good killer. He can, he's kind of got all the elements. He can skate, he can win pucks, and he's smart. And it's kind of all those things are what you need to be a good killer. And sometimes you're smart, but you get to those puck battles and you can't get the clears, and that's a tough thing. So I thought he's been a real good asset for us so far, and he'll continue to be.
Overall thoughts, you only have 1 point, but 3 games, you're in every game. Just what are your thoughts overall?
Yeah, I mean, you're disappointed with the 1 point, and I think if you just look at it without watching our games, you're saying, well, whatever about the Blackhawks. I think people that have watched every game, we're in position to win every hockey game. We need to continue to do that, but then find ways to win. We're not, here for moral victories, but we are here for process. And to me, that's the number one thing. I said it when I first took the job. We're not going to take any shortcuts to try to win a game in terms of getting 2 points. That's certainly important, but process is the most important. I think we've taken steps in process. We still have a ways to go. We still have to, again, like tonight, you got to find ways to not beat yourself. So, how do you beat yourself? You give up too many chances. How do you beat yourself? You take too many penalties, And so we just, in Florida, we gave up too many chances. Tonight we took too many penalties. So we're still working through some of that process stuff, but that's what we'll stay focused on. I like our guys a lot. I like their attitude. I like their approach. I like our talent. It's a growth process for sure. We knew it was going to be, and we'll continue to work through that growth process.
What crossed your mind when you see one of your young skill guys like Nazar taking a hit like that? What is your thought on that?
Well, it happens fast. The first thought was my reaction to what our guys did. We're going to look after each other, and we're going to fight for each other, and sometimes that's figuratively, and sometimes it's not. But, in this case, we did. And, again, did we get the extra? Yeah. Do I wish we killed it off? Yeah. But do I want us to make sure we're looking after each other? 100%. You can't have a team. If you don't care about each other enough to fight for each other, you're not going to be a good team. And so we're going to make sure we look after each other.
You've already got 2 multi-point games out of Nazar this year. How do you see him impacting the games every night?
Yeah, I would also say, well, I'd give the whole line credit. Like the line is a good line, and Frankie's a really good player, but TiVo and Bert do a lot of the work too, so it's a kind of a line that's had a lot of chemistry, and they've been a real good line. So it's a bonus for us. Hopefully they can continue that.
Around a long time. Is it hard to decide with a guy like Blashill? He needs more seasoning in the minors, but yes, he's a number 2 pick. We got to have him here. It's a new world in 2025.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for us is trying to look at his development path, and so. Sometimes it's okay to miss games. It's okay to in certain games not get a lot of ice time. That's part of development too. I don't think development is just you just play and they magically get better. Certainly playing is part of it. You got to have confidence, but learning how to do things certain ways is part of it too. Making sure there's all of that. We feel like it's the best place for him to be is with us right now, and he's going to play plenty of games, and there's going to be some games he doesn't play, and that's just the reality of it. But that, to me, it's honestly, it's not a big deal. It's part of the growth process for a lot of players.